What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday to all of my wonderful people out there. Looking forward to this conversation.
Uh-oh. Change my mic over here. What's going on? Thank you for being a new member, Brandon Putty. Nice to have you guys out here. My name is Eric Coffey, the Underdog Entrepreneur, and today's show is going to be a little bit different than what we've done the last couple of days, and I'll tell you why. Because today we're going to do a live show helping answer some member questions and essentially help you guys work through issues that you're having in the space. So whether you're stuck on finding contracts or using certifications, getting pricing, or just making your first move, right? Today, I want to come on and talk to you, answer your questions, and how to help you get unstuck and maybe get some clarity in the space. I know a lot of people are confused and a lot of people are just new, right? And you're hearing a lot of the jargon, acronyms, or maybe you're hearing misinformation because you're watching multiple channels. So today I want to come on, ideally answer questions. If people want to come up to the stage and talk, that'd be even better, but I'm not going to force anybody. I will drop the link in the chat for those of you guys who want to come up. I used to do this a few years ago and it worked great. And we kind of worked through a lot of problems that people were having out there. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up. But this show is going to be particularly, you are going to make the show today. So I am going to talk about the questions you have, the situation that you're dealing with, right? That's what we're going to be discussing today. So it's not me particularly teaching a lesson like I do in my normal episodes, but we're going to be answering your questions live. So first and foremost, welcome. Thanks everybody for joining. And I plan to do this moving forward Tuesdays and Thursdays, right, until the foreseeable future. So if you missed this one, you could come on next Tuesday and catch me as well. But yeah, excited to be here tonight. So tell me what you guys got going on. What are some of your challenges that you're facing? What are you seeing out there? What are you experiencing in the marketplace, right? Again, I will drop in here some. I'll get this party started for folks because sometimes people are a little shy. I get it, right? So tell me, we want to give you practical advice, tactical advice from my experiences of what I've done in the past, how I've done things. I've talked to over 300 people on my podcast. We are number 1% in LinkedIn. We have helped businesses from zero in revenue to hundreds of $1 million in revenues. We have worked across different verticals, and I'm still actively talking to people and meeting every day. So I'm really have a lot of information to draw from different perspectives. I just had lunch today with some guys that, again, every time I think like I've met the top people, I meet someone new. So someone says, do you have experience in construction? Right? So let me just put this up on the screen. And Chi-Chi says, did you have experience in construction? If not, how did you just dive into that contracting? So that's a great question. No, I never had experience in construction, believe it or not. In fact, some of the things that I recommend to people is sometimes, and then now let me say this, I'm going to preface it, right? Because, this is my opinion, but I firmly believe that a lot of times when you have experience in an area, it does put you at somewhat of a disadvantage for the majority of business people. And why do I say that? Because when you have experience in an area, typically you become an operator. And so what does that mean? Meaning like when people have experience in construction, then the experience, when they see problems and they see issues, they actually jump in and like fix it, right? So my son, for example, he learned how to use Canva. And so he learned how to use Canva. He learned how to build thumbnails. He learned how to do brochures and things like that on Canva. Well, when one of our graphics designers messes something up, he just goes in and fixes it. The problem with that is it does not teach you how to manage and run an organization. And so the skills that you need to run a construction company are a different set of skills that you need to actually do construction. Do people follow that? So for all of us out here that are starting out now, I will say this, Chi-Chi. uh, as someone getting into an industry or a marketplace, right? It may be beneficial for you to start off, right? Especially if you have nothing. Like if you've got nothing, my mom always taught me this. It's like go volunteer your time, show people what you can do, and then you can ask for money after the fact. So, but for me, not having experience in construction turned out to be a great asset because what I did learn was how to do contracts, how to read RFPs, I learned the FAR, I learned procurement rules, I learned procurement regulations, I learned strategies for talking to decision makers. I learned, for example, the different names of the different types of people that we want to talk to. So I learned all of the administrative things that support construction companies. And so therefore, that was my secret weapon. That was my asset that I brought to the table to a construction company. And by the way, I can teach anyone that, and that's what we teach. So a lot of the things that I teach is not how to actually do the technical work of any business. I teach you how to do the administrative work to bring in revenue for any type of business. And so those are different skill sets. So when I say we go into construction, I can tell you right now, I can give, I'm going to say this. There's 20 people watching right now. Are there anybody else in here that's in construction industry? Do we have 5 to 10 people in here? Just put a 1 if you're in the construction industry. Do we have people in the construction industry? Because what I can say is this. I can take any one of you on this call tonight and ultimately make you a successful construction business owner. It's simple. It's really simple because at the end of the day, what happens is every single construction company, every trades contractor, whether you're talking about plumbers, electricians, carpenters, flooring people, site works, roofers, mechanical contractors, all of them want more projects. They all want more work. So any one of you, if you learn the skills to bring in revenue and more work, you can then work and partner with any type of construction company. The challenge is you're trying to learn the wrong skill set. Your skill set that you want to learn is the skill set of how to drive revenue. That's the skill set. So how do I do that? Well, you learn, the government decision makers. You learn how to navigate procurement protocols, meaning that how to read an RFP, how to read an RFQ, how to price a project. You learn who to talk to ask questions about projects. You learn who to talk to get more information that gives you advantages when you are pursuing an opportunity. You learn to talk to people on the ground to create more opportunities for more bids for your construction partners. You learn how to negotiate with other suppliers and vendors. You learn all of the ancillary skills around running the business. The only thing that you don't really know is how to do the construction. So I never learned how to do construction, but vice versa, the people in construction never learn how to do what I do. So we needed each other. And so at the end of the day, they needed me and I needed them. They needed me to get the work and I needed them to get the work fulfilled. And I can tell you, which is funny, I literally today met with head of business development for this major construction company that is bigger than Clark Construction. And I had lunch with him today because, again, they're doing a lot of federal work. And we're looking to partner with them on some smaller business contracts that they don't want to do because they're so big now. And so what we did is we're saying, okay, you're doing billions of dollars in work, but some of these $100 million contracts that you guys are turning around, maybe we can work together on some of those opportunities. So again, there's a lot of opportunities out here. And now imagine this, right? We are in the middle of a shutdown, okay, and I am still having lunch. I'm going to do a charity event tomorrow. with people talking about teaming on opportunities that they are turning down. I met a guy today. After that meeting, I had 2 more meetings, and this guy builds data centers. And if anyone knows about data centers and construction, I mean, that is the latest construction boom that has happened across this country. Regardless of what's happening with the government shutdown, they're building data centers like crazy. And so anyone in the construction industry should be able to get a piece of the data center marketplace. Just crazy. But again, Chi-Chi, going back, right? There are construction companies right now, Chi-Chi. Where state are you in? City and state, right? So there are construction companies right now. And let's say, for example, this is a live show. I want to, let's just do it live because, that's what we do on live shows, right? We keep it real. So let's go on here. Okay. All right. So let's see. Data center construction. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's see. And again, I just went to Google. All right, look at this. Trends and strategies shaping $257 billion data center construction market, 2025 to 2032. I just Googled. I didn't even use no AI. I didn't use Grok or nothing. Google. All right. The data center market, construction market, forecasted to grow to $465 billion. All right. Here's the dynamics of the market. Now, what happens is all of the construction guys, they know that this exists, right? They don't know how to get access to the contracts. They know it exists. They know this money's out here, right? But they don't know how to get access to the contracts. So I always encourage young people, you guys are smart. You grew up with phones in your hands. You grew up with computers in your hands. You can research where the people buying data centers, where they're spending money, who won the contracts on the data centers, and then you learning through us how to reach out to them and talk to them about working with your particular company, your partner who can actually perform the work. That's the value. That's the magic. That's what I've always brought to the table with the guys that I work with. One of the things that I notice about construction people, especially really good construction companies, they're busy. So they're like, I'm busy. I don't have time to go chasing bids, or I don't need to chase bids because I'm super busy, or, people come to me or somebody else does it. But most of the time, the run-of-the-mill construction person is not have time to sit behind a computer and go look up bids and stuff on SAM.gov. They don't have time for that. They don't have time to do market research to figure out what was the most recent developer that got this project to build this data center in Louisiana. And so they don't even know the first place to start. They don't know the first place to start. So you come in and you go, okay. And again, like I said, we'll just kind of see, all right, data center construction, Louisiana. A man says in Louisiana. Okay. All right, Louisiana. Meta is constructing a massive $10 billion AI data center in Richland Parish, Louisiana. Expected to be the largest facility globally. It's planned to be operational by 2030, creating 500 jobs. Okay, $10 billion investment, $16 billion in Louisiana. Now, my man said he was in construction of booming. Okay, Bossier, Louisiana. Okay, so let's see. Bossier, Louisiana. To where's this data center being built? Richland Parish. To Richland Parish. All right. That's 2 hours and 4 minutes. Okay, so sir, I just showed you a $10 billion project that's 2 hours and 4 minutes from where you at, Chi-Chi. 2 hours and 4 minutes. All right. Energy Louisiana power Meta's data center in Richland. Okay, so we know who's so in your backyard, this company Entergy is powering the data center. All right, cool. So now we went through this. By the way, we're doing this on the spot here. So my man's over here. So we got a data center going up in Richland Parish. My man's over in Bossier, 2 hours away. This company, Entergy, is powering Meta's data center. Okay. Cool. All right. Now, hold on. We're going to do this together. I'm going to walk you guys through a scenario. Again, why you don't need to be a construction guy, because you all of us who have more time than money can do research. Now I'm gonna go to LinkedIn. I'm gonna put in this company Entergy, and I'm gonna see if I find anybody there. Okay, my internet's going a little bit slow. All right, Entergy. Okay, calling all project controls experts. Energy seeking individual join our team. Natalie works there in HR. Okay, look, director of capital projects at Energy. Tim is there. He's a capital projects manager. Okay, the new data center in partnership with Energy. So Merrill's there, Kennedy. So, okay, here's a business development manager. So now, okay, Chi-Chi. So Chi-Chi, I'm walking through your scenario while we live on the internet. Chi-Chi, can you find 10 people from Energy and send them an email, send through LinkedIn, send them a message and say, hey, our construction company does blah, 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 right? We are aware that you have a partnership on the new data center. Who should I talk to about potentially working on that project, right? I think this guy is a good place. Tim, he looks like a good guy to reach out to, director of capital projects. I would message Tim, right? Tim looks like a nice guy. Okay. So, Tim worked at Burns and McDonald's. I know people from Burns and McDonald's. Tim has only been at Energy 2 months, right? Burns and McDonald's, I've got friends there. Right here. Boom, my guy. So I can message him, say, hey, Laurent, do you know Tim over at Energy? It's like, yeah, I know Tim. And next thing you know, can you make an introduction to me, to Tim? I'm working with this new company out, and I see that they've got the contract with Meta, and I am working out here with a site development company that I think we could bring a lot of value to the data center that they're doing. Chi-Chi, can you do that? So when people say, how can you start without actually knowing construction? This is exactly what the president did. I know a lot of people, they don't like Trump today, which is fine. But before he was president, he wrote a couple books and he did some New York development deals. And one of his strategies that he did was he found a piece of land that the government wanted to get rid of and sell. Okay. And this is a brilliant strategy. It doesn't, regardless of how you feel about him. So he found this land that the government wanted to sell, right? And they were looking for people to develop the land. It was like an old, railroad track by the water. And then he didn't have the land. He just saw it. And then he went to the bank and he talked to the bank and said, hey, I'm going to secure this land with the government. I'm looking for a banking partner to do this development deal, blah, blah, blah. And so he says, so he told this person he had the land. Then he told the people that had the land that he had the bank financing, right? So that he could get the land. And then the people that were building it, he said that he had the land and the financing so he could get a contractor to build the building. And essentially he could put all those pieces together without having any of it. But then when the bank said, yes, okay, you can get the financing, he could then take that piece of paper over to the people that had the land and then to show the developer. And then all of a sudden he had all three of the areas. And that's what I'm telling you, Chi-Chi, that any one of us can do, right? With just having enough information. Again, this is a hustler's attitude. This is not the textbook Harvard Business School, playbook, right? This is the like my guy said, get it out the mud playbook. My boy John Bowen, he did the same thing. He did this exact same technique where he was working with the companies who installed the Metro Rail systems, and they realized they didn't have any suppliers in Miami to come in and service the equipment. He was a contractor at the local county government, and he kept saying that they weren't getting these suppliers. They installed this equipment, and they weren't coming to fix it. He went on LinkedIn, emailed the CEO, asked if he could be a supplier. The CEO sent him down to one of their reps, and then they made him an approved supplier, because they didn't have one for until the next one was closest was Palm Beach. He became a supplier by emailing the CEO or messaging through LinkedIn. People are on LinkedIn for them to engage with you. If they're not on LinkedIn, then that means they're not looking to do business. I hope that answered your question. It's a little bit of a long answer, but I hope it answered your question. But as you see, we connected the dots with you in a matter of less than 10 minutes. JJ, yes, you need to get your LinkedIn updated. You know, it's interesting that you say you don't have the clout that Trump has. That's a really interesting comment, because that means you missed everything that I just said about Chi-Chi. Because I said Trump's name, it diminished everything that I said about Chi-Chi. And that's really unfortunate, because Trump, you don't need clout to do this. I mentioned John Bowen. He didn't have any clout. He recognized there's a gap in the marketplace, right? There are people, I just said that I had a meeting with a company that's bigger than Clark Construction. They're a multi-billion-dollar construction company. I had lunch with them today. They are literally turning down opportunities to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. And so we just said, hey, we would like some of the stuff that you don't want. That's it. We're just like, hey, but I know how people feel emotional when I mention Trump's name. So I get it. It kind of clouds our minds. But any one of us, I always encourage people to try. I just kind of always like, can you guys try this stuff? I mean, before you knock it, can you try it? We are our own worst enemies. I said this the other day in my live. They said that you will not be defeated by your competitors. You'll be defeated by yourself. Next question. Next question today. What we got going on? What's up, Alan White? Alan, you never messaged me, man. You ain't text me nothing. You said we're going to get together. I'm here. I'm going out with everybody else. I ain't seen you yet. Okay. What else? What else? What else do we have? No questions? Okay. Workforce education. Ask me the question. Specifically, I don't really understand. Any recommendations for a workforce education? I don't know what a workforce education is. I will say this. I'm going to interpret the question. I would, Ileana, if you could just rewrite it again, that'd be great. But what I will interpret is this. Both of the things that have made me the most money were certificates that I received from technical schools. So yes, I'm an engineer. I went to college. I graduated from the University of Florida, right? Industrial systems engineering. Great. I've never, ever, ever made money as an engineer in my entire life. Now, when I graduated, I had a company. Then I went off and I actually worked at a call center for a couple months, saved up a bunch of money. Well, I won't say a bunch of money. It was a bunch of money to me at the time. I think it was like 20 grand. And then I started doing real estate. I went to a post-school, secondary education school at Miami-Dade County College, but I didn't go to college. I took the courses. In fact, I'll pull it up. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. I took the technical school courses to get my real estate license, and then I became a realtor. And then I went to become a contractor. I took the same technical school courses to get my contractor's license, and then that's how I became a licensed contractor. However, truth be told, I didn't actually have never done construction before. but I was able to get my license because when you have a college degree, a technical degree, it gives you credit towards the experience that you need to getting that contractor's license. But yeah, that's what I did. I took those classes at Miami-Dade County College. So that's what I took. See if I can find it. Miami-Dade College, real estate. See, I took this, School of Continuing Education and Professional Development. So that's the school that I went to get my certifications. And it really was like I think we went once or twice a week for a couple hours a day. And I'm sorry, once or twice a week for a couple hours. So like maybe I think we went 2 classes a week for like 3 hours. Let me see if it shows it to you. And that's how I got my start. Like literally continuing education and professional development. This is what look, this is all you need. I'm telling you, you don't need college. I would actually tell you not to go to college, to be honest with you. Like, hold on. Maybe they don't call it contractor. Maybe they call it construction. This is the school I went to, Miami-Dade College. Oh, here we go. Yeah. No, not construction management. No. I did, hold on. General contractor license, Miami-Dade College. So there you go. School of Continuing Education, Professional General Contractor License Exam Preparation, Course Description. This is what I did right here. So these are the 2 things that I did that got my certifications that I use now. That again, I built buildings, I built houses, I've renovated properties. This is the only thing that I've ever used was these 2 continuing education classes that took me a couple, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months, but like 3 hours a week. That's what I used to get my certs that allowed me to do all of the stuff that I've ever done. And again, from this certification right here, right here. From this certification right here, that's where I was able to build my company, Evan Koff, and we did, I don't know, we were doing about $2 million a year for about 10 years. In fact, let me see. So that's the only thing that I ever got. And that would be something that I encourage you to do. By the way, again, I did it without knowing construction. So imagine that. Like I didn't even know construction. I still was doing this stuff because again, at the end of the day, what people don't realize, and they don't teach you this in school, is that when you go take that exam for construction, they don't teach you how to actually do construction. They teach you how to manage construction projects. And that's what they teach you. They teach you how to manage construction projects. So this is what they teach you. That's it. So here, I'll pull up. So yeah, but that's what's going on. No, I just, let's see what we got here. Okay, any recommendations for a workforce? Okay, wait, would this be a consulting type of arrangement? So going back to the arrangement type, it's really up to you the type of arrangement that you want to make. For me, it just depends on how much work you want to do, right? Do you want to get involved in the actual work? Do you want the responsibility? So depending upon how much work, and by the way, this is the question I'm answering right here. So depending upon how much work that you want to do, like how involved you want to get, that will determine the type of arrangement that you make. So let's say, for example, you want to actually get like your company to become you know what, I'm better for that. I'll give you an example of me. So when I first started, I was a consultant. When I started in 2009, I was an actual consultant, and I essentially got a fee for helping put deals together. And then a few years later, someone came to me and I want to join this organization called Entrepreneurs Organization. And so because I want to join this organization called Entrepreneurs, hold on. So because I want to join this organization called EO, then what happened was, and this is what it looks like, right? So because I want to join Entrepreneurs Organization, in order to join that, I had to make at least $250,000 a year. So I decided, well, on the consulting path, right, to get to 250K in fees after everything was a little bit harder than if I were to shift to actually putting some of the contracts in my name. So I changed my arrangement from consulting to a teaming partner with the company, right? So that some of the contracts would pass through my business and then I would get more credit for that just so I could join this group here, Entrepreneurs Organization. Keep pointing my way. I'm going to point that way. Okay. And so for me, I changed my structure so that I could now get around better quality people. Or that's maybe that's not the right way to say it, but I want to be around more entrepreneurs and more like-minded people that want to grow and succeed. That was my goal. So I started off as a consultant and then I switched over to this model. So I became a team member. So then now I could be around this group of people like this. This group is an amazing organization. I can't speak enough about it. If your company is doing at least $250,000 a year, 250,000, I highly, highly recommend that you join your local chapter of the Entrepreneurs Organization. They changed my life. They will change your life. So that's what I did. And then eventually I went from consultant to partner to having my own construction company. And then that's where, you know, things basically changed for me. Make sense? All right. I believe in this, but I like some guidance. I find next codes for leadership and supervisor development workshops for organizational cultural change. Okay. So you said, I believe in this. I didn't see did I miss a question? Hold on. I feel like it's a second part to a question. Okay. All right. So hold on. I'll come back to you real quick. Ileana says, I meant which agencies or content vehicles best align with what we do, workforce education, language access, and DOL apprenticeship initiatives. Okay, cool. So very good question, Ileana. And also, I think Raymond Johnson. You know, it's funny, Raymond, every time I see your name, I think about like Raymond James. Does anybody else tell you that? I don't know why, but I think about like Raymond James when I see your name. All right. So, Ileana, this is a good question. And by the way, this question, if you were on my call last night, and unfortunately, because I rescheduled the call, because I had a fire alarm situation here, then I wasn't able to do this. So Ileana, this is a great question. And Raymond, I think it's the same question as well. So what I need from you, Ileana, is I need to know what NAICS codes that you are pursuing, because then that will help me with that particular case. But I will say this, Ileana, since you do language access, we had a young lady last night on a live session that does language translation services. I gave her some advice. It was solid advice. I'm not going to walk through the example today, but I'm going to drop the video in this chat, Ileana, because we went through. Does everybody remember? Anybody? I know Tavin, you were on last night. We went through exactly how she can build her customer base right now in language services. But what I need from you is, Ileana, I need some NAICS codes. And the same thing, Mr. Raymond Johnson, if you send me your NAICS codes, right, Okay, you said you want guidance on finding the codes for leadership and supervisory development workshops or organize. Okay, so your situation is different. You want to find which NAICS codes do this service. Okay, that's a different request. So that's different than what most people ask for. All right, so this is what I would do. Okay, now I know. So for me, I'm gonna first explain the process, and then I will walk you through the process. So the first thing that I would do is I would find companies in the industry that are doing this, like these workshops, and then I would see what NAICS codes that they're using, and then those would be the ones that I would use. All right. So that's the first thing that I would do. Okay. And I hope that makes sense. Now, fortunately, because again, I've had 300 people on my podcast, I happen to have a couple of those companies in my brain that we're going to pull up as a real life example for you. Give me 1 second. And I'm going to share that with you as well so that you can go back and watch that clip. So let me go in. In fact, I'll just share my screen while I do all this. Doesn't make a difference to me. So let's go to my channel. And let's go to videos. And let's see if we can find my girl, Talia. Bingo. All right. So what's interesting, Mr. Johnson, is that I have a lot of content here. One day, I hope that I can get AI to organize all this content so that you guys can search it and find this information, because I just happen to have this stuff in my brain. So I know what to go to, but a lot of people, obviously, you haven't listened to everything and you might be new to my channel. So I'm going to share with you this clip for you, sir, just so you can have it. Okay. Because it only had 800 views in 3 years, but it's okay because the people that saw it, they needed to see it. So this says how she built a training empire from scratch. All right. Does that sound like, let me ask you something, Mr. Raymond Johnson, does this sound like a video that applies to you? Okay. Does that sound like something that applies to you? Yes, no? So in this video, she goes through what she did, her company, how it works, right? So let's go in. But okay, and now let me just show you Talia Fox Kusai. Kusai Global, Talia Fox. All right. Very beautiful woman, very nice person. And so from here, let's take a look. Her courses are, you see this? Leadership and Management, Professional Development. Does that sound, Mr. Raymond Johnson, does that sound like you? Does that sound like, I'm going to come put my screen down. Does that sound like it applies to you, sir? All right. This, you know, hey. So now what I would do again is based on what code she's using. That's how I would determine which codes I would use. All right. So you got the link to the video. You've got her company page. Now you could go in and do some more research, right? And then now you can figure out essentially what you need to be searching for in order to be in this marketplace. By the way, real quick, I'm going to just real quick. Hold on 1 second. All right. So real quick. So today, if you don't know, for all you guys just coming us, November 15th and 16th, we're having a live in-person mastermind here in DC. In fact, I just secured the venue. It's going to be here at Officina, which is on the waterfront. Okay. And then the second day, we're having it at this place called Urban Roast at the Wharf. So if you know DC area, look up the area called the Wharf. You'll see it's right there on the bay. But we're doing our in-person mastermind November 15th and 16th. And so this is the kind of stuff that we want to do, is connect you with people like this. So again, if Mr. Raymond Johnson, for example, was in one of our groups, I would just call Tally up and set up a meeting so he could sit down and talk with her and have some like one-on-one time with her because she's in the area, right? So this is the kind of stuff we're doing. This is really getting access and not so much training. And then for those who, again, want more training, we're starting our boot camp November the 7th, scaling with certifications, and we'll talk about how you actually turn your asset of a certification, which is collecting dust, into contracts and dollars. That's my plug. All right, now back to what we were talking about. So I helped my man Chi out. I helped my man Raymond out. Who's next? I told you guys I do professional development. All right. Who's next on the list that I can service today? I'm going to drop both of those links in here, the mastermind and the boot camp. And I'm going to, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, here's our information, where to email, that you can call us, text us, whatever. All right. So I'm putting this in there for you guys to call, text. I see you, Daniel Gonzalez. I see you down below. All right. I got you. I got somebody waiting here real quick. So Daniel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep. Give me 1 second. Let me help this lady real quick solve this issue.
Go ahead.
All right. I'll be right back. Thanks. And by the way, anybody else want to join us tonight, feel free to join us. I will drop the link in here again. All right. Mastermind for people who haven't won federal contracts. No, Obi, the mastermind is for people who want to win, but also who want to grow, right? I'm looking for people who actually want to grow in this business, not for people who just want to flip products. So this is more strategy about growing and eventually scaling. So that's what more of the mastermind with, whether you want a contract or not. Olivia says, I love the wharf. Yeah. You know, I mean, look, I can't bring y'all from the Fontainebleau and Intercontinental and Miami and bring you up to DC and then kind of leave you hanging. I got to do the wharf. Come on. I got to do it. So let me take care of Ileana. So Ileana says, these are her codes. Now, buckle up, tune in, because if you missed last night, I forgot last night, Ileana, I got to give you last night's video. Hold on, Ileana, I got to give you last night's video. Let me give Ileana last night's video real quick, and then we're going to jump on. Give me a second. So last night was it was good. So last night's video, Ileana, right here and here, we talked about, where was it? Here. So in this video, and I haven't had a chance to get my guys to actually clip it to where the good parts are, but in here, there's a part where we start discussing. I don't know what's wrong with my computer so slow. Okay. But either way, I'm going to drop this video in here for you, Ileana, so you can have it. But in that video, the young lady, right around here. So in here, we start talking about Noah. And so right around this section, around the 50-minute mark-ish. Yeah, right around here, around the 43-minute mark, Ileana. Right in there is where we start helping the young lady who does translation services. So there you go. You got the video. Now, all right, so Ileana's question, she's trying to figure out which NAICS codes. She has her NAICS codes. Let's go back to her original question. And she said, where's Ileana? By the way, thank you, Brandon, for becoming a new member. Her question was, any recommendation for workforce education? But she says, okay, so this is a question that a lot of you should be able to answer, right? And if you can't answer it, this is part of what we help companies do, but I also help you do it through training as well. So now, Her question was, which agencies or contract vehicles are best aligned with what she does, work for education, language access, and DOL apprenticeship initiatives? So what I said was I need her NAICS code. The other thing, Ileana, I need from you is your NAICS code. I also need your zip code, and I need to know whether you do services or I'm assuming services. So let's go in, and I'm going to do this. Okay, so she said 6114. So check this out. So I shared this last night. I'm going to share it with everybody here today because I love you guys. There's this website that I found recently. I don't know when it came out. I'm going to put the website in here, and then I'm going to share it on the screen. All right. And so there's a website, and it's called govcon.sba.gov. And you can literally go in. It says returns the federal agencies that are most likely to contract with businesses like yours. And I think this is what Ileana's looking for. So we're going to go in, and I'm just put limited liability company, women-owned company. Last night we did this one, which is language translation, right? But today we're going to use her first one, 611430. 611430. I don't know Ileana's zip code. Okay. Ileana, what's your zip code? What's up, Tamika Reed? Ileana, I don't know your zip code. Okay. Well, Ileana, I'm going to leave this zip code in here for now. I'm going to put services, your products manufactured in the US. Okay. And then I'm going to hit submit. Okay. And so essentially, once you tell me your zip code, and I'm assuming you provide services, not goods, then it will give me the exact answer. But for now, Ileana, it looks like here, these are the agencies that, for at least the very first NAICS code that you gave me, these are the agencies that are most likely, like it says, to contract with businesses like yours. And so when you look here, it tells you the number of bids per contract on the 5th percentile, the average, and the 95th percentile, right? So if you think about the chart, it goes like this: FEMA, National Parks, NOAA, Marshal Services, Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation, Federal Prison Systems, Education, right? So here is how you start to find that list. All right, makes sense? All right. So that's how you start to find that list. Okay, Ileana, I'm still waiting for a zip code. Karen, I see your zip code, but I don't see your NAICS code. All right. So, by the way, you could just take this and go through this example, and it'll start giving you all of the different groups. So this is a great way, Ileana, to start with. And now you have your first preliminary list of agencies and offices that want to work with you. Okay, well, you're a national business. Fine. But the way that this platform works is it asks for a zip code. So, I didn't build it, but it asks for a zip code. So at least you know where to start. So this is a great start for you. And you could do this exercise with all those different codes. And then now you'll have a list of the different groups. So, what's interesting is that, so I did a podcast today with someone, and one of the things that she pointed out to me, which was that the government is closed, but every federal agency and office is not closed. Did you guys hear what I just said? There's a lot of federal offices and agencies that are still open for business and doing work. So even though the government's closed, you have groups like, for example, the FAA is open, the Patent Office is open, the Treasury Department's open. So there's a lot of groups that are still open for business. So I say that because I think a lot of times, as, 'cause, 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 ' not shut down. A couple of different offices shut down, a couple of agencies shut down. Yes. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that I'm giving you a bigger perspective than what the media is portraying. The whole world did not shut down. There's a lot of people that have nothing to do with the government. They're like, none of this doesn't even affect them. So again, there's offices. Ileana, did you learn something? There are did you even know, Ileana, about the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation? I mean, I'm gonna ask you guys something. Did anyone know that GSA is actually not an agency? Do y'all know that? Do you guys know that GSA is not an agency? It's like the Federal Reserve. Does people know that the Federal Reserve is not a government agency? It's called the Federal Reserve. It's quasi. So listen, the information that I think at this point, we're all old enough to know the news is going to take the worst situation that's possible, and that's what they're going to harp on. But people are working. I was at a restaurant today. It was full. People are spending money up here. I'm here. I'm here on the ground. I was at Pentagon City today, right next to the Pentagon. The place is full. No, not some are still open, Stephanie. A lot of people are still open. I think it's more people open than are closed. My opinion. Why do I say that? Who spends the biggest, when we look at procurement spending, who spends the most? Let's just look at it together. Let's just think, okay, what are the complaints that people say? The government spending, bloated spending goes to where? Where's most of our government spending dollars go to? This is not a trick question. Thank you, Pam. DOD, now DOW, war. And if they open, that means the majority of the stuff is still open. Come on, people. Be smart. Look, I know 90% of y'all went to college. Come on. So it's really the opposite. It's actually a small fraction that's closed, and they're blowing it up like it's the big fraction. It's not true. I'm telling you, yesterday I got sole source contracts. We are negotiating agreements with companies today. I've got meetings tomorrow with folks. I'm painting the picture, opposite picture of what they're painting, because they want everything to be doom and gloom. It's the same thing when they said they want to go to what was it? Where they want to send the National Guard to Oregon or wherever it was, and the people were dancing with the little animals and stuff like that. That's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. Don't get into the propaganda machine. But let me take my man Daniel's question, because he did come up here. And then, by the way, if anybody else would like to come up, I'm going to drop this link in here real quick. So if anybody wants to come up, I'm dropping a link in here. But let me take my man Daniel Gonzalez.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How are you, sir?
We're doing fine. We're based
Bull
off in
shark.
Puerto Rico, so.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, man. So, Daniel, yeah, you were the one that said you were going to see me in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it was me.
See, I remember that.
That's nice. So, guys,
you know what happened? It doesn't matter anymore. But they didn't do what they're supposed to do, so that's why I didn't go to Puerto Rico.
Okay, I see. Hope to see you guys. Hope to see you soon here.
Oh yes. Well, I still want to go to Puerto Rico, just not for that event.
Oh, okay.
But hey, Daniel, if you give me a reason to come to Puerto Rico, I'll come to Puerto Rico, brother.
There's plenty of reasons.
Okay,
so
there you
go. My questions. So we're contractors here, right?
Yep.
Licensed, bonded, and insured. We work like private sector, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're taking a couple of subcontracts, right, from local agencies and from other companies, right? And even federals. But we're always being subs, right? So we want to take that step up.
I got you.
Yeah.
So, all right, I know what you need. I got you. I had you before you finished the question. I got you.
All right.
Hold on. So watch this. So, all right, my man Daniel, Puerto Rico. One, obviously you could do this exercise, but you don't even need to do this exercise because I understand the marketplace. Where'd it go? So Daniel, there's a group that the U.S. Army Corps established. It's called Viper. And what it stands for is Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. You just need to connect with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers task force that's over Puerto Rico. It's called Viper. Okay. It's the latest U.S. Army Corps of Engineers group that they stood up, and it's specifically to handle contracts and projects in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. And so you could connect with these groups, and there's a lot of work down there, and you could talk to them about how you start working with the Corps of Engineers. They have industry days. Look, Rio de la Plata, Rio Grande de Arca. You know these places?
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is that a lot of those projects are like really big projects, you know. So
no. I mean, that's the stuff. But no. Then what I said first, connect with them.
Okay.
Do not discourage us.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I just said we are our worst enemy. We are our worst enemy. Connect with them. The Corps of Engineers is one of the most successful agencies for working with small businesses.
I've worked with them, but I'm indirectly, right?
Of course. But I'm telling you where to go.
I got you.
I'm sending you.
We're still working though. I mean, today I emailed a couple of persons. What I did is, well, since I'm not finding like contracts right now. I know government is closed and everything, but
government is not closed, Daniel. That's a lie.
I know.
No. Damn, the government's not closed. The government's wide open. That's a lie. The government's open. Hold on, Daniel. Look, let me help you. We're gonna go one more step. I'm gonna help you out. Hold on, Daniel. Wait. All right. Task Force Viper. How to do business. Look, small business. Okay. Deputy Director Small Business, Kimberly Daniel Ray. Small Business, Alexandra Garza. Small Business Office, 904. Here's the email address. Okay. They had an event.
I need it.
Okay. Like, look, they have here. This is the FY26. Okay. These are the events they're having. They're having one October 21st. It's right now. They're having one right now in Jacksonville. You missed that. That's today. They're having it right now in Jacksonville. They're having an event. Okay. But that's okay. In fact, I'm going to the one in Phoenix, November 19th. I'm going to be here in Phoenix at that event. I met these people. I met them. Okay. That's the South Atlantic Division. Let me see. Okay. They're at the Vets Conference. They're at SAMI. So this is all the stuff coming up the 20th and the dates. Okay. Hold on. Let's see what else they got. So, I mean, like, this is a lot of information here that you could just browse through, Daniel, or have somebody from your team browse to and start familiarizing yourself with the projects, the opportunities. Look, okay. All right. So here were some subcontract opportunities. They've already expired, so this is not updated. But here's some other stuff in Puerto Rico. Okay. So look, San Juan, Puerto Rico, R. Lopez de Asua and Associates. You know anybody works there? Javier Bidot and Associates. Maybe you know somebody works there, right? Ruth Trujillo.
Like, lawyers.
They're architects and engineers.
Okay.
But they're doing the designs for the projects that you want to build. See, what I teach people is how to get ahead, not to wait until by the time you hear about that, it's too late to already pick the people. You can right now find these people, go to lunch with them and say, hey, what projects are you working on? I saw you on the list for Puerto Rico. What projects do you have coming out? What projects can I get a part of? I'm a local guy, local company. Danny, you can't do that?
Totally. What we're doing.
Dan, you can't go have lunch, take the people out to lunch?
Totally.
Come on, man. Daniel, I gave you 3 companies that are on the list for Puerto Rico that are putting together the designs for the upcoming projects. They already are winning, so they already know who's in the offices making the decisions to make the awards.
All right. And that's our route.
Go take them to lunch. Go to their office and freaking find out who they are and take the people to lunch. That's what I would do.
Whenever I got a contract from them.
Hey, man. Listen, I mean, the reason why we do this, because it's not that we just don't have information, right? So I'm here giving the information because that's the gap that we feel is the information gap for people. But they are not closed. I'm telling you, they're not closed. They're having a conference in a couple of weeks. How they closed?
Yeah. No, I'm saying close because I don't see like a lot of opportunities
because you're looking for bids on the websites.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing.
Totally.
Daniel.
Even though I've been working with people, because what I did is, since I didn't find anything like these days, what I did is that I put ChatGPT to look for signed awards in the last year, right? From companies from the US, just US based companies. So I'm here and I can help them because I'm here. They're not here. I can. That might
sure.
Be my.
That's good.
And I found a couple of companies with signed contracts for this year, and I emailed them today. I spoke with a couple of people today. So but that's what I'm used to do. I want one from me. At least to start.
But you told me you want to be a prime.
Yeah, that's what I'm going after. Yeah.
That's what I'm showing you. I'm getting you with the people. By the way, Daniel, somebody on here just asked what's your email. Somebody in the chat. But I'm getting you with the companies that are making the designs with the Corps of Engineers who are managing Puerto Rico. You can't you are ahead of the requirements.
Totally. That's where we're gonna go. That's what.
So this ain't no sub work, brother. This is like
no. I get it.
You got me. You follow me?
No,
hey.
We're there. We're already
so that's where we want you at, right? And then now, listen, just when I come to Puerto Rico, take me out, buy me a drink. You be good. We're good. So, but yeah, that's what I would do. That would be the first thing I do. In fact, I talked to some of the people over there, chiefs of contracting, for the Virgin Islands. So I know they're accessible people because they really are looking for work. So in fact, last night I talked about this specifically for the Virgin Islands, but I mean, they're looking for work. You saw that last night. Yeah.
My info. Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of people looking for. In fact, I think right now, one of the projects that we're going after has, I might have another one for you, Dan. Hold on. I might have something else for you. Hold on. I got you. Because you're brave enough to come up here. Let me see. Huh?
That's what we're doing, man.
That's what we're doing, brother. Yeah. You got to hustle, man. I know the difference. People don't see it. Let me see. I think this new RMAC that we're going after, there's a piece in Puerto Rico with the Coast Guard. I think I saw that. Let me see. I think the RMAC covers the Coast Guard. Covers Puerto Rico, one of the regions. Let me see. Because we're pursuing this RMAC contract now with the Coast Guard, and I'll tell you right now.
The one about that's a combined for Puerto Rico plus USVI, right? That's how I saw that.
Okay, yeah. So the RMAC does have. Yeah. So this RMAC that we're going after, it does have Puerto Rico as a region. Here. So this is something I'm personally even bidding myself. Here, I'll pull it up here. So this RMAC, if you guys haven't looked at it, man, look this thing up. So this is a Coast Guard. It's called RMAC, which is a multiple year IDIQ. And I just looked it up. Puerto Rico here. Okay. Contract region 7.5, which is part of 7. So region 7 is Puerto Rico for this RMAC. And again, so this RMAC, it essentially covers all 50 states and Puerto Rico. And so the value is going to be $10 to $20 million per year on the contract. So they're going to pick about 5 winners and for each region. So I'm like, I'm in a different region, but you're going to be a region 7. This one, this is your region.
Set aside?
No. You see this? No, there's no set aside.
CBD.
No set aside. No set aside.
So that's the question. How
what's the question?
Like a small company like us can get to the point of acquiring or getting big contracts like that? Because I know something is past performance stuff for contracts that big. And
no. The contract is not that big. That's the total value of all the contracts they're going to award per region per year.
I know.
That's not a single contract.
It's in different task orders. No, I get
that. Yeah. So they might be 100,000, $1 million, 200,000, 500,000.
So whenever you bid into one of these vehicles, they don't. I mean, in order for qualifying, you don't need to qualify for like, how can I say this? Like such a big contract.
No. The bonding requirement is not. The bonding is not commensurate of what those are. You have to look at it to see what the bonding requirement is for you, but the bonding requirement is not the value of the total annual spend. No, that's not how it works. No. The bonding might be only $500,000.
Oh.
Let me see if I can find it. The bonding might be $500,000. Let me see. I just pulled it down. Okay, here you go. Let's see. What does the bonding requirement say? Okay, so on this one, the bonding requirement, minimum bonding requirement is $5 million. So this one is $5 million minimum bonding, but it's not, but again, it's not 20 million, but yeah, this one does say 5 million requirement for this.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit much.
Yeah. But that's something you get like little by little whenever.
Yeah, you get little by little.
Yeah, totally.
But again, if you start making relationships with these people that I gave you, you will walk yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I get it.
You get. I mean, I'm telling you, I personally had 20 million in bonding in like 2 years.
Totally. Yeah.
Because
gotta be patient in there.
Yeah. Nah. So look, people keep saying give your email address because there's people on here. I'm gonna bring Obi up because I think Obi wants to talk to you. Obi. I think he wants to talk. Obi, you want to talk to Daniel?
Obi.
Hey, what's up, Daniel? What's up, Eric?
I saw you said put your email address in there, so I said maybe you want to talk to him.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you because I know you said something about working with other American companies. So
yeah, because I'm local here in Puerto Rico, so I can help a lot because I'm here. I mean, if someone gets a contract and you're out there, so I'm here. I can make things happen, make things work.
100%.
If we don't do it, we can get the people who do it. So.
Yes, sir. That sounds good. Eric, my question for you was, so I was looking at going after design, bid, build. contract, and the requirement was with the architect. Is it wise to go after something like that if you've never done anything with the architectural company, or what's your thoughts on that?
So the lady who I talked to today, she said that she would say that she doesn't think it's wise to do it, right? But for people like us who, I think it's wise to try it so that at least you can learn what you did wrong. Gotcha. Maybe you're not going to win it, but you need to get the practice in of putting something like that together with the requirements, even if it's for the purpose of the exercise. Because I feel like, how do I say this? So I'll give you an example. Like right now, I signed up for a 10K race next month. So it makes me have to run more than I would normally run because I got a 10K race. But if you don't,
I'm in the gym right now. That's why I got my.
So if you don't sign up for the 10K race, you're not going to practice running. Like, I ran 4 miles the other day. I ain't ran 4 miles in years because I never had a reason to run 4 miles. I run 2 miles a mile. So I feel like the exercise is worth the effort.
Copy.
So that when you are in a better position, you've kind of gone through the exercise. You don't want to experiment when it really counts. So I think that it's worth the effort for the exercise, if nothing else. Okay. I feel like if you take any action, good things happen from that, as opposed to taking no action, right? So that's just kind of my philosophy, is just right. And by the way, same goes to architect companies. I mean, what I just gave Daniel was some architect companies, right? So you could do the same, Obi, which is go find some architect companies that are already on some of these vehicles that have contracts, and then bring them to the table for design build, because they can't do it without somebody else. And, bring them to the table with their credentials and put a nice package together and submit it and see what the government says.
Gotcha.
They're none the wiser.
Yes, sir.
I mean, technically the architects do all that work anyways. You don't do that work. And I have a company right now that I've been working with, and they are qualified to do that, but they hate design bid build. So you might win just because people that are older be like, I don't like that kind of work. I don't want to do it. And I be trying to convince them like it's not that bad. But this, when they get to like a certain age, boomers and up, right? They're hard to change. They've gone through bad experiences in life. And so now they carry that with them into new situations.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
That's about right.
Yeah,
so that's kind of what happens. But yeah, I think it's worth the exercise.
Yes, sir.
All right, my man.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Daniel. Put your email address in there for Obi and everybody else. They want to meet you.
Right now,
all right.
Just put it.
All right, Daniel, you good? You problem solved?
I'm good. Problem solved. If anything, I'll just be in touch.
I'll be back on, next week. So if anything, you come back. And again, listen, for everybody here, like I said, here's our email address. Here's our phone number. If you have any questions, if you need help with anything, if you want us to help train you, if you want us to help put together a package for you guys to get you set up to do all this stuff, we are here to support. All right. So I'll say that. All right, Daniel, my man, listen.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir, brother. Take care.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
All right. Nice seeing you. Bye now. Hello. How are you, Amber?
I'm doing good. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you. Same here. Pleasure. Stonehaven.
Yes. My mom and I have our own company, and we are looking for some insight on how to get like immersive reality, VR, or augmented reality contracts.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Tell me more.
Well, I have a degree in it, so we're just like struggling to get a contract, and so I'm just trying to see.
Immersive reality. So tell me, what type of contract would that be like? What would you be doing?
So it depends based on what I've seen with the contracts. It's either I'm creating a visual simulation within the headsets, and or I'm providing the product to the government that I'm buying the headsets for them.
Okay. So actually, I had someone that did that a few years ago. They actually, something similar. They went out and they scanned all of like Afghanistan, and they recreate the maps inside of a virtual reality that went inside the headsets.
Oh, that's cool.
Does that sound about right, Amber?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. So the cool thing about that is the government obviously is now buying more of that now, like a lot now. What I would say is, you said you don't see a lot of that, so I'm going to take you to look at on SAM, right?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, let me say this to everybody listening, real quick. So for everyone listening, I'm going to share this with you guys because this is the same thing with even with Daniel. So let me just share this. Why did we all go away? Okay, hold on. So I share this because it's 95% of the contracts are not on SAM. So I want everyone to understand this. So Daniel, when you said to me, you don't see any bids, I already know. My first answer is you're looking on SAM. I go, yes. Just because they're not on SAM doesn't mean they don't exist. So I want everyone to kind of like keep that in mind. There's literally 90 different places to buy from that the government uses, websites, platforms, 90. So it's really difficult to only like scour all the sites. Like it's just really hard to do. So I usually like to do backwards and do market research. And then based on the market research is how I determine where they buy. In your particular case, which in a lot of cases, just because I've been around for a while, I do have some insights in this stuff so I can share. But I just wanted to say that because to everybody watching this now or in the future, if you're looking on SAM and you don't see your opportunity, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Okay. So don't be discouraged. I want everybody to be encouraged. Do not think, well, Eric, I don't see it. So maybe it doesn't. No. That's not true. That's far from true because only about 5% of stuff goes on SAM. Okay. That's the first thing. And then when we go back and we look at the map, you see this half of the slice of the pie, task orders. You see that, Amber?
Yes.
Okay, so 50% of the opportunities are in task orders that are attached to long-term contracts, similar to what I just showed Daniel, which was this RMAC. All right, that's where the contracts are coming out of those. So, but you can't see that list because if you're not on one of those vehicles, you don't get to see the task orders. And that's what happens with a lot of us when we're out looking for these things. You're like, I don't see anything. Well, because it's probably in a task order that went to somebody else, right? The other thing, Amber, that I will say about what you're doing is it's still something new and novel.
Yeah.
Which also means that they're probably buying it differently as well. Okay, so I got some good news for you where to start searching. But I will say that because you have a novel item, then that also creates a different type of challenge. Okay, so scroll up, Olivia. It's not showing. I don't know what's not showing. But either way, so a couple things so that I would do for that. Besides going backwards and doing the market research, which you know that part. I would look at CSOs. So let's do that. And I made a video on all this stuff. Here, I'll share my screen. So what I would do is I would look at, in fact, you know what? Let's just pull up SAM.gov and do it. Screw it. Do I have SAM open? Let me see if I can sign in. All right. I haven't done this in a while, so let's see how this is going to work out for us today. Okay. All right. So it's called CSO or Commercial Solutions Openings. This is where they're buying like modernization stuff. Okay. So a lot of people, if you don't type in CSO, you won't see that on SAM.gov. Okay. So you have CSOs, you have BAAs, which are called broad agency announcements. And again, it's another way that the government buys technology, right? And so you have CSOs, BAAs, and then OTAs is the other one that they use to buy technology innovation. So those, I don't know why I'm trying to show the screen and show you. I don't know why it doesn't do that. Okay. So those are three ways that I would recommend. So for example, so here's other transaction authorities or OTAs. And so every, let me see if they have it. What is it, your thing called? Augmented reality? Huh?
Yeah, virtual reality.
All right, let's see. Virtual reality. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So you see what this says? OTAs enable government service to acquire technology like virtual reality outside of traditional complex contracting rules. Like that? Huh? You like that?
Yes, I do.
Amber, we good? Okay, so let's see. So here's a consortium with the MITRE group. I don't know. Let's see. It shows you their technology areas, optics, command, munitions. All right, let's see. In fact, let's just, I don't see virtual reality. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go to Grok and see if Grok can tell us who has an OTA with virtuality. Since
Sometimes
Google.
they call it mixed reality.
Mixed reality?
Yeah, like
Okay.
changing it slowly.
Let's see who has it. Other section tutorial, mixed reality. Let's see, Grok can tell me who's got mixed reality, other trend. But the key is knowing the words that you need to use even to put into Grok, right? You wouldn't even know like the words to use to even put into Grok. So let's see. All right. Doesn't yield OTA specifically for mixed reality. It funds mixed reality prototypes in defense. So blended augmented reality overlays with virtual reality immersion, significant DoD applications, training, simulation, operational planning. Military. So Varjo's X4 series headsets funded via OTA consortium enable photorealistic market simulations for air land, reducing cinema. Prototype consortia. DoD uses OTA-led consortia now secure technology to prototype. Is that your stuff?
Yes.
Did I do good, Amber?
Yes.
I know what I'm talking about a little tiny bit. Okay, so now let's go to the National Technology Accelerator here. And so you can literally join this group, okay, and you could sign up, right, and you can be a solutions person for this group, specifically as it applies to virtual reality or mixed reality.
All right.
Makes sense? Because now we know that the prototype in this consortia, right, they prototype this type of stuff. Let's see who else. Varjo's X4 series headsets. Okay, so funded via OTA consortia. Okay, I don't know which consortia. So you can join these consortia.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see which one funded this one. And so you could join any of these consortia. It's not a lot of money, maybe like a couple $100 a year. And then you can essentially, they will help you to be able to help them with this kind of work.
Okay.
So let's see. Okay, so they launched 23 primary support through private venture capital, national R&D grants through US DoD OTA awards. Okay, they've a Finnish company eligible for foreign participation to OTA consortium. Okay, so they didn't go through a consortium, but they were funded through OTA awards. So they didn't go through a consortium. However, okay, it says here, potential OTA consortium connection. So National Security Technology Accelerator, which we already have that one right here. You can join. We've got the System Engineering Collaboratory Consortium Executive. Okay, XR prototyping. So this is 500 annual dues. But they're eye tracking and photorealistic sims matching scope. So again, you can just start looking through this, right? And seeing which ones essentially apply to you, right? Before you go forward. And so I would say the MITRE Corporation is really good to do that research because they have a lot of information on OTAs and all the different consortiums. So this is a great place to start to do that research and digging around. I can tell you that ATI is by far the largest or has the most consortiums, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily the best. But remember I said there's 90 places to start searching. So you see here, active and upcoming opportunities, active solicitations, upcoming solicitations. So let's search mixed reality. Okay, Naval Shipbuilding and Advanced Manufacturing Center. Okay, so you get me? Like, there's opportunities, right? But it's just not on SAM.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one: Maritime Sustainable Technology Innovation Consortium. So under mixed reality, I found 2 on OTA. So again, traditional, non-traditional contractors, large businesses, performance. And then the way that this works, Amber, is essentially what it does is you join a consortium and they have it's like being an IDIQ. They have their list of projects that the government gives them, and then they pull from people like you to actually do the work on those projects.
Got it. All right. You helped me so much.
Hey, I gave you hope again, right? You look like we came in here without hope.
The light is in my eyes.
Well, I mean, if you're doing that kind of stuff, I already know you're a smart person. You're super smart. So I know that. So you just need some direction.
Right.
That's all. So, but yeah, so now you know the 3 areas that you can pull from and start doing your research based on that. But yeah, I don't know if they're on SAM, they're far few in between. Because it's technology, it's innovation. So they buy it differently. So, all right.
Thank you so much.
No problem, Amber. Thank you. Take care. Tell your mom I said hi.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Bye. All right. So, hey, look, this is what we do. We've been running these playbooks for a long time. And, it's crazy because a lot of times people, like I said, they just don't know where to go to. Alan, no problem. We can walk Woodrow Wilson Bridge, Indian Trail, no problem. So, all right, what else do we have? I've been on for an hour and 28 minutes. Tavin, my man, says, like I said, go to the stop sign. This is what I teach everybody. A lot of us keep ruling ourselves out for no reason. Don't do that. Don't rule yourself out. Go to the stop sign. All right, and then go from there. So, all right, what else? Anything else before I close out? Excuse me, I am a little tired tonight. So, it is about 9:40. So, all right, listen, I think we had a good show. Sunday, we are going to discuss what are we doing Sunday? We've got another show coming up Sunday. I'm gonna take a couple of days off. Well, from streaming live. But let's see, Sunday. Oh, bid builder Sunday. So Sunday we're going over actually building out a proposal Sunday. So live bid builder, we're gonna be building out proposals on site. And so we'll be doing that on Sunday. But yeah, I'm beat tonight. Had a long day, and I'm gonna go turn it in. All right, guys. Listen, thanks for being a part. We appreciate everybody. And for those of you looking forward to seeing you guys come in DC next month. And let's get to it, man. Let's make some stuff happen this year. All right. Thanks, everybody.